So a lot of people come to me with horses that have issues, whether it's a bucking horse, a kicking horse, a horse that rears, you name it, right? And a lot of times people will work with their horses and they'll start doing some of this groundwork with them. And they'll tell me, I've been doing the groundwork with my horse and I feel better, but I still can't get it out my head, when he ran off with me a couple months ago, or when he started bucking all of a sudden. And I can't help but feel like that's still in there somewhere. I want to encourage you to have the very best thoughts about your horse. And what I mean by that is a lot of times without realizing it, whatever we think is what we convey to our horses. A lot of times the body does what the mind is thinking, even if we don't intend for it to do that. So if we're thinking negative thoughts and negative feelings about our horses, if we're thinking fear and we've got some pent up fear in the back of our mind somewhere, even though we don't realize it, we're conveying that fear to our horse. So one of the things you'll hear me say a lot is take a nice big deep breath when you're working with your horse. And if you're like me, sometimes those things from the past that have happened with your horse, they'll come back and they'll creep up and you'll start to worry, oh my gosh, I'm afraid that he's going to revert back to his old ways, or I'm afraid that there's still a dangerous horse in there. I want you, when you come to those points, take a deep breath, and when you exhale, let all of that junk go and forget about it and act like you're starting from a clean slate with your horse. It's a new time and a new opportunity to move forward with your horse. And in fact, you're still going to take really good precautions. There's things that we do when we do the groundwork. There's certain ways that you'll stand out of a way where your horse won't be able to strike at you or kick you. And you're going to be careful and use good judgment. But remember, don't hold on to that junk. So remember, when you start to feel a little bit fearful or a little bit uncomfortable, before you do anything else, take a deep breath, let it go, focus on what you're working on, and move forward with your horse. Just because we're so preoccupied with what happened in the past doesn't mean we need to keep bringing it up and putting that on our horse's shoulder. Our horses tend to be very forgiving, loving animals, and they put up with so many mistakes that we do, and yet they give us a chance time after time to try and get it right. And I think we owe them the same thing. They might make their mistakes, but we've got to let it go, let it roll off your shoulder, take that deep breath, and move forward.